Hey y'all. Hey y'all. It's been a while. It's been 2 months, at least. The reason for that is my computer hates me. I would call it adversarial. I don't know what the issue is, but I've been trying to upload videos for 2 months, and I'm hoping and praying that this one uploads. Because every video, I have just made the same video, but added more to it. I've given an update for 1 week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, for 4 weeks, for 2 months. But I have a good feeling about this one. I don't know what the deal is, but I think it's going to work. So, let's see how this goes. Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been at least 2 months, I think, and things have been good. I've moved to Henderson. I'm on campus for my seminary, which is great. I love it. I've got my studies going. I made some friends. I've got a roommate named Jason. We did not have so let me talk a little bit about my evangelism outreaches that we had earlier at the end of the summer before I left. We had a total of 3. I think I've talked about one on here. 2, the other, if not, the other one, the first one was good. It was just a trial run. I learned a few things. 2 more trial runs, and I'm getting closer to figuring out what an evangelism outreach needs to look like and what needs to go into it. Definitely not there yet. Definitely not ready to host one right now. But I'm getting closer and closer to figuring out what needs to be done. David Harden has been an amazing help through all of this. We have some fun stuff planned for the Outreach Bible Project. Now that I'm finally getting settled in here in Henderson, I'm able to get a groove going and get a routine going. So I'm just going to keep editing my calendar until I find what works for me. I set one, but I just don't think the schedule is actually going to work the way I thought it would. So I'm just going to keep editing and revising, Things have been good. The second outreach went great. The second outreach went alright. The third one went amazing. I was able to crack down on a few things that needed to be done. And had a really good conversation with a guy. A few things that have been on my mind since then is this idea that we have to get uncomfortable. We have to seek uncomfort. It's so easy for me it's so easy for me to just do what's comfortable because it's comfortable, so it's easy to do. But man, you cannot grow as a Christian if you do what's comfortable. And so that's something that I've been working on and that I'm struggling a lot with. Even after I preached a sermon on this at the beginning of this month, but I've been working through this idea of getting uncomfortable for a handful of months now, almost 6, and I struggle with it. It's hard, I think that I think admitting that and acknowledging that is what's helping me grow in it, though. Every time that I start to be like, okay, I'm pretty good at doing what's uncomfortable. Nope. I screwed up. I've been learning a lot about humility. Being here on campus, I'm learning that it's normal to struggle with pride. That's something I struggled a lot with. And it's still there. It's still there for sure. But I can admit that that God has humbled me. And I've prayed to be humbled, and God has blessed that prayer. I am I used to think I was all that, so that's been another big, instead of really highlighting events that have been going on, I'm kind of talking about things I've been learning. That way the video goes quicker. And yeah, I've definitely been humbled in the past couple of years, but especially lately, just looking at a picture of me and my girlfriend right now, just that relationship and my surrender to ministry, my call to ministry, I'm just, being here on campus though, I'm realizing that, a lot of people, like, we're all just trying to figure things out. And I'm also learning that there's a lot of people who think they already have it figured out. And honestly, it drives me a little crazy. It makes me a little angry. And that's probably because I struggle with it too. I'm still trying to figure that out. So that's been really good for me to kind of look at myself and be able to analyze myself as I'm a student here and able to kind of relax and settle in. And I don't know, I've been able to do a lot of reflecting. I've been trying to prioritize quiet time. I used to do that really well, but for probably about almost a year, I wasn't doing that great at it. But I've been able to get a little better at it for sure. And, praise God for that. We have such a loving Father. It just blows my mind. So I've just been in awe lately. Because I'm messing up, I'm sinning, and I just see the way that I'm able to see, like, how, I don't know if fruitful is really the right term, but life is just, life is better when you live in obedience, and it's like every day that I slip up and I fall into these sins that I know I shouldn't, start to feel anxious, and I fall into these, and my pastor says the more you sin, the more you sin. And I don't know if he's quoting someone or if he started saying that, but man, that, like, I've been thinking about that a lot the past probably 5 months, and I don't know. So all this to say, right now is just kind of a season of growth for me. I think always, like, we're always growing. That's what we do on a daily basis. We're seeking sanctification, but man, like, lately I have been God's just showing me a lot at once. And I'm thankful for that for sure, because I used to be a little runt, a little brat, and I still am. And that's what's crazy. It's just like, it blows my mind that I've been able to fix a lot of things that are going on, at least for now. I'm sure in a few years I'll forget about them and they come back or whatever, but I've been able to work on a few things that are really affecting the way I live, and I'm still so broken, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, that's why I say I'm in awe. It's just like, our God is just so great. Just can't even imagine. It's like I do this little bit of work on myself. I improve the way I live a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I got it figured out. And, God's laughing at me. Like, dude, no. What are you talking about? So, things have been good. That's my go-to. Maybe I'll make some shirts that say things have been good. I say that in every video. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit is a burden on my heart, something that's really been messing with me, is this idea that, so I'm a member of a Baptist church which is affiliated with the American Baptist Association. Something we prioritize in the ABA, and I love that we do, is church planning. Something I've started to see, and it is a little less common now, but it still happens, is we're planning churches where there's already churches. I haven't done any research on this, so I don't need any church plant missionaries to come storming and yelling at me, and I'm not telling people what God has not called them to. But I'm noticing that we plant churches in places that already have churches that we have reason to fellowship with. They may not be a part of our fellowship, but they have the same core beliefs as we do. And I wonder, I'm not saying this is my ministry or anything, but I've been wondering what there is that we can do to just go to those places and help those churches instead of Like if there's a resource for that. Like I said, I haven't done any research or anything. This is just a thought. That's what this channel is for. I'm not a teacher. I've just been thinking about, is there something that we can do or that somebody does to go and help these existing churches instead of just building a new one next door? Because I really do think there's a need for that. A keyword think. I don't know all this stuff, I'm just yapping. So that's something I've been thinking about lately, because, I've been thinking about the possibility of pursuing some sort of evangelism ministry after seminary. I don't know if that's what God's calling me to, but the more that I do this evangelism stuff and try to write up this curriculum and teach people how to evangelize, the more right it feels. But there's also a part of me that says, Hugh, this is just a part of being a pastor. So, I have no idea what's in, but I will say, God made it, it was clear to me, as I prayed about this and read the scriptures as I was getting ready for this transition, for a year or so before I moved, it was so clear to me that I am not going to know what's next after seminary unless I get in seminary. And I've been in seminary, but online. And now that I'm on campus, God is starting to reveal more to me through my readings and my prayer and my time in class. Not blatantly, but I literally feel closer to whatever ministry it is I'm going to be pursuing or leading, so I'm thankful for that. I've only been in town one weekend. I've been going back to Alvin a lot. But 2 weekends ago, I was able to visit a church nearby. I listened to this preacher's sermons a lot. I actually have been slacking, but it's because I've been seeking quiet time. I haven't really been listening to any sermons online other than my church service that I'm a member of. And I used to listen to this specific pastor's sermons, though, a lot, as well as others. So I went and drove 40 minutes or so to check out their church, and I think I'm going to be back on Sunday. I really enjoyed the preaching, of course. I knew I would, because I listened to them online, but the worship was powerful. The members were serving and participating. Everyone was so welcoming. Something in my church is we have this visitor things, and I'm not a visitor, so I don't know how this works, but I thought that the visitors just grabbed their little visitor gifts on the way out. But today, or the other day when I was there, I had a church member walk up to me after the service with a handful of goodies for me, and I thought that was really cool, So they had a lot of really serving-hearted church members, very humble church members, it seems, and I was thankful for that. I've been trying to hold myself accountable to my discipline. If you follow this channel, then you know that's something I struggle with often. I'm naturally not disciplined at all, just like I'm sure everyone watching this is not. I just, I feel unique in that, but I know I'm not. I love not getting up. I love not working. But I do not love the person that turns me into. So I'm trying to stick to my routine, stick to my schedule. I've been doing a lot of window cleaning work here for my little business. My roommate is helping me out with that, and he's doing a lot, and he's doing really good. And I'm thankful for that. And so I do think that I would like to find another job. I'm working remote for the pest control company still, which is great. I love it. It's been a little hard with transitioning and stuff to make enough time for it, and I do feel really bad about that, but I've talked to the owner about it a little bit, and I think everything's okay. I got a little scared that I was getting fired because he was sick and wasn't responding to my emails, but he was sick. So I found out after a week or a week and a half of not talking. I was like, okay, thank goodness. He messaged me, and I was like, oh no, what is it? But everything was fine. We did a pray around the pole, or see you at the pole is what it's called here, and that was really nice. We did that this morning at the school. I planned on actually making a video, but I was there on time, but I was waiting outside. It was raining though, so everyone was inside. So I was being a little silly there. I'm really excited about some stuff that we have planned for the Outreach Bible Project. Stay tuned for that. I will give a room tour at the end of this video. And then, actually no. Yeah. I'll post that. I'll post a room tour as the short. A YouTube short on my cell phone. And then y'all can watch that. After you go watch this video, go check that out. But, so my plan is to find some sort of sales job or something, because I only work 3-4 hours a day, if even, on the marketing stuff for the pest control company, 6 days a week. So I wake up at 5, usually. The other day I slept way in. Work 6 to 10 or so, and then pick up my day from there, go into other things. So class and whatever else, because I have class 10:30 on every day that I do have classes, and then excuse me, I'm disgusting. Things have been really good. I've just been feeling very thankful. I'm excited. So something I realized about a week ago is that I have to propose if I want to get married. So, of course, I'm not going to go up on the internet and be like, here's the date I'm proposing or anything. But I wanted to share with y'all my experience with kind of getting ready for that. So it's not going to be like even within 3 or 4 months from now. It'll be a little while. But I kind of forgot you had to do that. I wasn't literally like, oh, I have to propose? What? But I planned on marrying Allison a couple months into our relationship. I wasn't like dead set on it, but I knew, I felt it, and I knew that this was a girl that God would use for great things in my life. And she's been amazing. And that's just as a girlfriend. I can't imagine how amazing of a wife she's going to be. So I knew pretty early on that I was going to marry her. A month or 2 in, I told myself, like, yep, this is how this is going to go. So I've been in that mindset for a while now, and I've picked out the date, that not like the day of the week or anything that we're going to get married, but literally just like the month or time frame, because, we're going to wait till she graduates and whatnot. So I knew about when, and I've known for a while. So I've been thinking, this date, that's a while from now. Oh, that's a while from now. That's a while from now. Until the other day I realized, well, that's about a year and a few months away, but I gotta propose. So I was stressing a lot. Because I'm a prideful freak, and I thought that I could control every variable in something like that, and I was just thinking, basically, the way I'm thinking about it now is I gotta get my money figured out, trust God, and it'll be okay. But that was after multiple conversations with a good friend of mine where I was trying to square away things, and I realized that I'm just overthinking it. I have some really good friends, and so they just helped me realize that it's a big deal, but trust that God is sovereign, and that He will provide, and it'll be okay. Because I'm just so fixated on money. I'm just a control freak, and I'm just worried because I'm a student, so I got to pay for tuition, and then I got rent, and then I got a stupid car note. It's so annoying. So just a lot of things that I got to pay for that make marriage hard, and I got to fly to California to get the blessing. So just different things that mess with me, but it was all dumb stuff, like the things I were worrying about, I knew better after a few conversations with my friend, trying to like figure out the details and what I got to do to get prepared. He did a good job at letting me know that I'm being a little crazy about it. So I'm very thankful for good friends like that to humble me and hold me accountable. Because like I said earlier, I can be a prideful little control freak for sure. But things have been good. So my plan for the evangelism stuff is to continue writing curriculum and put together an outreach down south in Houston area over the fall break, and then one over Christmas break, one over spring break, and then finally a big one over summer break. Big one, I'm thinking, this will change. My plan right now is to do series of outreaches. So June, July, and August. I'll do one June, I'll do one July, and I'll do one August. Each of which will have... I gotta write down that idea. Okay, so one in June, one in July, and one in August. All different weeks of the month and all different days of the week. So that it's more likely that people can make it to all of them. I think that people will always make excuses, and I'm just going to do my best to eliminate the excuses. Because one thing I hate, and I know that's a strong word, one thing that I hate is excuses. God has called us to live out. Now, I'm not saying everyone is called to go do public evangelism. That's one thing God humbled me on, that I was being a, crazy little boy on, and still do. Is that, not everyone's gifted in the same way. So, anyway, but things are good. This is a long video, but I'm not doing any editing. I'm just trying to make things, like authentic and legit, and what's it, swell, One thing that makes me super happy is as soon as I move to East Texas, the waves pick up in Houston. Not Houston, but, Surfside, Galveston, whatever. But I brought my seabirds with me, little sandpipers, so I got something. I'm going to join a birding club to go out and do some bird photography. But I'm gonna wait on that. Wait till I settle in here. I just could chat with y'all forever. Things are good, and I am just so thankful for God. I don't know. I've been messing up. I have not been a great steward. I have not had great discipline. But it's acknowledging those things, repenting, turning towards God, away from sin, and getting things, like, I feel amazing. This is the first day this week, it's Wednesday. This is the first day this week that I've woken up the time I was supposed to. Sure, I woke up at 6. That's early, but I was supposed to wake up at 5. And today, I got up on time. I did everything I needed to. I was working earlier than I needed to be. Got my Bible study done. Like, I'm actually doing things the way I know God needs me to. Not needs. Come on, you heretic. The way God wants me to do things. And it feels good. Like, I have so much joy whenever I look at my life and realize that I'm actually kind of doing all right, It's been a few hours since I woke up. It's like 9. It's 9 in the morning. It just feels good to have discipline. After weeks of not doing great at it. So anyway, I'm just thankful for God, and the Lord does not have to hold us accountable. The Lord does not have to help us grow. That's our responsibility. But He still cultivates us, and that blows my mind, so many other things God could be using his time and wisdom and whatever else on. So, praise God. I'm just yapping. Feel free to leave the video if you're. I'm caught up on pretty much everything, so you don't gotta watch any more of this. There's probably a few things I could think of, but I think I've said about everything important. So yeah, just really, I'm just trying to just figure things out. I'll post a link to the sermon that I preached down below. If someone actually watches all 25 minutes that I've got so far, like, dude, that's awesome. My classes are going great, by the way. God provided a stove, a washer, and a dryer for us through amazing church members and TBI staff. Very thankful for that. But anyway, yeah, so my plan, I'm meeting with someone at the school today, which is fun. I'm excited to get to know one of the guys on staff, and I'm going to chat with them about maybe helping out with some marketing stuff for the school, and just see if maybe I can get a little side job doing that for them, or just volunteer work, stuff to put on my resume. It'll help me. I've simplified my life a lot since I moved here. I'm going to go ahead and donate a bunch of my clothes, but that's not like what I'm starting with. I've cut a lot of things out of my life, a lot of not mess, but extra stuff. I'm not a minimalist or anything, but I'm minimizing my activities, I guess. I'm still having fun and stuff, but I'm learning to kind of pick a thing a week. For this week, I'll play Mario in my spare 30 minutes each day, or every other day. Like, I haven't played games in probably 3 or 4 days. Or, this week I'll skate, every other day for 15 minutes or whatever. So just trying to, I have so many things I do for fun. And I've got a lot of work to do. So if I can just limit those sort of things, and then also limit what I'm working on, which has been weird. I like to knock everything out at once, but I've been pretty productive. So please pray for me. I'm trying to figure out what God is calling me to. I do have a bad habit of being a control freak, but not necessarily so that I can grab hold of it, but so that I can play a role in it as soon as God allows me to. If God is calling me to this evangelism ministry, great. But really the practicality of it, like the practical reason I'm asking prayer, is because I'm a student and I'm getting a degree. And I want to get a degree that applies to what God's calling me to. In the moment, I'm sure that in 10 years I won't be doing what I'm doing in 3 years. So, I don't know. But things are good and things are great. I'm feeling good today. Today's just a good day. But I feel like it's a good start. I was doing pretty good when I first moved down here, but then last week I was just kind of slacking. So I had a really good conversation with God, really good prayer time and scripture time the past couple days, and I think that I'm really just kind of reviving my good habits, So I'm thankful that somebody's watching this. I hope that you're enjoying it. I really, like I've said in most videos, I just post these for me, but also, I would hope that they help somebody else who may be dealing with something similar. I don't know if anything I say is actually helpful, because I'm just kind of talking about my life, but if there's any chance that there's anything in here that I am saying that's helpful, I want it to help, if that makes sense. So, I think that's about everything. I'll post a YouTube short of my room tour. I will post a link to my sermon that I preached recently. It was a devotional, but I went a little long. A little devotional. I am going to do something else with that passage, because I preached half the chapter, or like a third, maybe a little more of the chapter, but I wanted to do the full thing, so I'm probably going to write a paper or something on it. I did do a writing recently on divorce and how, biblically speaking, it disqualifies one from, I say vocational ministry, I don't think that's the right term. I need to look more into the terms that I should be using before I make this public, but a writing on the fact that Scripture clearly states that if someone is divorced after salvation, they are no longer eligible for ministry. I'm nervous about that because I know that's a major part of a lot. It's not just a theological debate. It's a very heart-wrenching topic. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I'm getting some help from a good friend of mine on kind of critiquing it and determining what's appropriate and what is not. Because I'm young and I'm dumb, I like the first rough draft I sent him. Like after reading his critiques and then looking through it, I'm just like, dude, I'm crazy. I'm just I always think I got things figured out. I need to quit that. I need to get in the habit of being humble. I just every minute I think I got it figured out, I just don't. So I've been saying that a lot this video because it's something that's been heavy on my heart. So I don't mean to be like, oh, I'm so humble, or oh, I'm so prideful, or whatever it is I'm saying. I'm just like, it's something I've been thinking about a lot, so it's kind of coming out, But that's a hard writing, and if, you're watching this, you probably have a stance on that topic. And I want to clarify that if you read it, because I will be putting it on my website, hughroth.com, which is under construction right now. Anyway, I know that's a major part of a lot of people's lives, and a major part of a lot of those in ministry's lives, and I don't want it to be something that divides me from anybody. So I've been looking at this screen instead of the camera, so not sure how the video looks, but anyway. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I care a lot about truth, and the term that has stuck with me for a little over a year now, probably less than a year, is making excuses to sin. And I think that we humans are so good at making excuses to sin. And I just don't want to do that. And so I want other people to not do that as well. So I'm just trying to kind of open up the Bible and show people in what ways we can be avoiding that mistake of making excuses to sin. So, because ministry is a serious thing. This is something that I've thought about a lot with the pride and the humility stuff. By the way, I told everyone they could go a few minutes ago so that I could kind of ramble if I wanted to. The pride and the humility stuff, I've been thinking a lot about how much of an honor it is to be called by God to serve in ministry. There's students here, there's students everywhere. I'm not saying like here at this school specifically. There's students everywhere who fall into this, just not taking it seriously. A person who claims to be surrendering to ministry, who is called to ministry, but and I'm saying this because I've fallen into this. I'm saying this because this is something I struggle with. I'm not trying to judge anybody. We act like it's just something that you have to do, but this is like, God's made it so clear to me this is where I need to be. This is my calling. And there's people that are, one, in it for the wrong reasons, and two, talking about this pride and humility stuff, just act like they can go through seminary however they want, or ministry however they want. And as I began to pray about this and think about this topic, I was feeling very frustrated with the different people in my life who I've seen, who I think are not taking advantage of the resources they have, or not realizing, kind of just slacking in general. Whether it be someone who I know is in ministry or in seminary, there's a few people who I feel worried for because, and concerned for. And it started as a little bit of frustration because I just think they're just slacking. They have this amazing opportunity and amazing authority or position or whatever, and they're not taking advantage of it. And I think, it's a great sin to be called into ministry and not take it seriously. Because, like I said, I've fallen into that, and now that I got a little frustrated with it, but as I started to kind of pray about it and think about it, how I was feeling about that thing, I realized that really I should just be in awe of how much of a blessing it is. And it is very sad, and it is upsetting that people are not living the way they should as one called to ministry. Or, I don't want to get into details on anything, because then, people will start assuming. But there's just a lot of people in that position, not just here, but everywhere. And I know that because I was one of those people until God, smacked me straight. So that's something that's been on my mind too, is just, man, it's to be called into ministry is such an honor. Though it's hard, it's hard just now, and I'm not even really doing too much. Though it's hard and is a very difficult, journey to go through, just, man, I don't know. I've just been thinking about that a lot. I don't know what to say. It's just, I'm just so thankful to be called to ministry. I plan on meeting with all of the different church leaders around here, whether it be Baptist, Catholic, Episcopal, lady priests. So just meet with all the different church leaders around here to learn and get viewpoints and opinions. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Excuse me. I'm just, our God is great. I'm thankful for that, so. But things are good. I've started to track everything I do on a daily basis. I have a calendar that I stick to. I got this whiteboard with reminders and stuff on it. And I've got a few sections on there that I really like. So that kind of helped me hold me accountable. But I love carrying one of these around all day. So right now I have a to-do list, the date. I write this the night before. The day started, whatever time I woke up and got moving, whatever time I got out of bed. That's what day started is. And then day ended. So it would be the to-do list, things to get done, whatever, the date, and then at the bottom, day started, day ended. That's been helpful for me this week, and that's sort of where one of the humbling moments, sorry y'all, that's where one of the humbling moments I had with the Lord came from, was me being a little slacker and having to look at it and be like, oh wow, I was only able to check off 3 of these 7 boxes today, and these were all things that needed to get done. So, and also having the checklist helps me minimize, helps me understand if I'm taking on too much, because the truth is that I say yes too much. It's hard as a seminary student to not fall into that. It's easy to fall into that, I should say, because for me, it's learning. And how am I going to learn if I'm not saying yes? But I also need to build up a habit of deciding what I need and what I don't, and having discernment and good decision making, because that habit will I will keep that habit with me as I go into ministry, and that's a habit I don't want. I want to be able to say no. And so I'm learning how to do that. This task list has been great for that, because I have to look and see what here is necessary and what is not. One way that I'm doing that is by adding things that I can't tell if they're necessary or not, seeing how it goes in a few days, of having it on the list and seeing what happens. Was I too overloaded that day? Did I not have enough quiet time? Was I able to get them done? And so, because I do have a lot going on. I'm very busy. And, I got a business to start up and run and work for the pest control company. I'm doing this stuff with the Outreach Bible Project. I got my evangelism stuff. And then, school, of course, which is a huge time consumer, as it should be. That's the number one priority right now is seminary. So that's the main reason I'm looking for some sort of normal job, is so that I can do my marketing work in the morning, manage the business stuff for an hour a day or so, pay someone like Jason, my roommate, or somebody else a regular rate, regular salary to, I don't mean annual salary, but like hourly or weekly or whatever, to kind of do the stuff that I don't want to. And then, or maybe that I know that anyone else could do, like I'm going to do all the marketing stuff and the investments, but for the, simple things that aren't required of me, just owning the company, then, business, then I can pay someone else to do those things. And it won't matter as much because I have 2 other sources of income, so I'm not as worried about making it a source of income, because then if I put the money that would have gone to me in this business towards the business, that's an asset I have in the future. And though I didn't make a whole lot of profit off of it for a few years, when I'm married, a year and a half from now or whatever it is, I have a business worth 80 grand or whatever it is, and a truck with a company logo on it. I don't know. I'm just talking, These are best case scenarios, but so I've been doing a little bit of planning for that kind of stuff. I am beyond excited to get married, but I'm having to understand that I'm not married, and I can't act like I'm married. I can't treat Allison like she's my wife. I can't expect things of her like she's my wife. I think it's really easy to do nowadays because I've been really fixated on this topic of divorce. Both my parents have been divorced multiple times, so it's a huge part of my life and a huge part of the way Christ has affected the way I live and helped me grow. So it's a huge topic to me, of course. In the studying of that, though, looked into marriage and stuff, and so I've been realizing that marriage is just not what it used to be in the view of our society, and because of that, people treat their girlfriends like they're the wife, and I'm learning that I don't really fall into that too heavily. In a few areas I do, but I'm trying to keep myself on guard because I think that it's more likely whenever I propose and stuff that I'll fall into those things. So it's been 40 minutes. All right, I'm going to shut up now, but it's been 2 months, and I need to do a weekly video. I need to do something, a live stream. Once I can get a camera set up, going in my room, I'm going to stream video games and do, things like just once a week, some sort of video. I want to get a Stream Deck, I think is what it's called, for my Nintendo Switch, because I play Smash a lot, and I think that would be a fun video. But Smash is in the living room, my PlayStation is in here, so I'll probably actually do my hunting game, because that'll be easier to talk about, or easier to talk while playing. So, but I love Smash, so that would just be a fun video to do sometime. So once I get a camera setup going, I need to figure out how I'm going to mount my camera. I might get some sort of wall mount up here above my monitor, and then I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to do something though. So I've got some work to do. I've actually got a lot of work to do, but it's raining, so I can't. I don't know. I'm just yapping. So thanks for checking in. Thanks for spending 45 minutes, hopefully, watching this video. Hopefully it uploads. I have to get this video uploaded. I'm gonna go insane if I cannot upload this video. I just spent 45 minutes talking. I can't do this again. So this video is gonna be uploaded no matter how many years it takes. Check the link below for a 20-minute devotional. I don't know what time the devotional starts. Just skip till you hear me talking and end it whenever I stop, and that'll be my devotional. You can watch the whole thing. We sing. A few church members kind of hype me up. You don't have to watch that. I don't need my ego boosted knowing that people heard good things about me. So there's so many things I could talk about, but things have been good. So I'm going to get back to work please be praying for me. Be praying for the Outreach Bible Project. Be praying for me as I get ready to prepare for a future ministry. Now, I'm not preparing now, literally, but I'm getting ready to literally prepare. So I'm preparing for a future ministry, and I'm getting ready to what's happening. I'm getting ready to literally prepare. I don't know if that makes sense, but please be in prayer for me. There are a few hard things that have happened in this month, but I just didn't want to talk about those things. There's some family stuff and losses in the church, so a few things that have been really hard. But God's also provided a lot, so I'll have to do a separate video. Maybe, I don't know. We'll do a live stream, and then that way you can watch it after I post it or whatever. So I'm going to get a camera set up within the next couple weeks, hopefully. I'm trying to save a lot of money. So appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Praying this uploads. Is fingers crossed, is that a sin? I don't know. Praying it uploads.